Welcome back to GuruReview.
GuruReview. Why am I here today? Why am I here today?
Yeah, this is an extension of the Unqualified Gurus podcast, where we just come here and talk about stuff that didn't make it to the episode.
Right, and then in particularly movie and shows, reviews, and
yeah,
and the entertainment world kind of thing.
Yeah.
So just this last weekend, Dragon Ball Super came out on movie theaters.
Super Saiyan, which is a very wacky name. Like
they've been overdoing it with the word super.
Yeah,
I give you that as a fan of Dragon Ball.
I remember the first time I heard the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, I'm like, oh come
Super
on, you
Saiyan
guys be
God,
a little more
Super
creative,
Saiyan Blue 2.
Yeah,
yeah. No,
it's way too long.
I think they could have done better on that. What would you call it? Any suggestions?
I haven't thought about it, so
yeah,
let's just stick with Super Saiyan God, Super
Saiyan Guru. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So we are obviously covering Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Super Saiyan Superhero. What? Jesus Christ! It's like a tongue twister. My bad.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I butchered that.
Super Square. Dragon Ball Super Square.
Yeah. So there's spoilers.
Yeah,
we want to be able to have the liberty to talk about things. So if you haven't seen it, might as well just leave that like and just bounce.
And as an overall spoiler, it is enjoyable enough to watch it.
Yeah.
Would you say that? Okay.
Yeah.
So at least go watch it, then come back. And then you can come agree or disagree or tell us what we missed. Maybe we missed something that's significant that we should have talked about.
Yeah.
Because the story's been out for a long time. So sometimes details are lingering somewhere.
Yeah, well, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so it's the timeline goes like this. All right, so we have the Red Ribbons back.
Right.
They were like besides King Piccolo, like one of the main bad guys in Dragon Ball.
The
original. So whenever the movie came in, it had like this really, really cool like throwback. Like it showed you like the history of everything, which is really, really cool. It's like, it's an homage to everybody, to the Dragon Ball series.
Right.
And it's nostalgic for everybody who got a chance to watch it growing up.
It's the first Dragon Ball season. It's like the one that I'm less familiar with.
Oh, really?
Because I was watching it in Mexico, and they weren't very good at making sure it was in order. So sometimes at some point, it was midway, and they started over, and it got to a point which is confusing. I don't know where it was. So it was from Dragon Ball Z forward, where I follow up episode by episode, and I've been wanting to go back and watch, just to know the details.
I think you should.
I should.
And you watched it all in Spanish, right?
I did.
Yeah. So
except Super. I watched it in the original language. With subtitles. That's why I say Sopa, because that's how they say it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah. The Red Ribbon Army is back.
It's back.
It's fronted as a pharmaceutical company, and the leader is the grandson of the Commander Red.
The logo looks just the same.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. But it's just like whenever pharmaceutical companies have been screwing over people and they just change their name.
Right.
That's the exact same thing that happened. And we got the grandson of Commander Red. His name is Magenta. And he finds the grandson of Dr. Gero.
Yeah, the two grandsons going at it.
Yeah, so exactly. So literally two generations separated, and it's still the exact same story. It's like Commander Red and Dr. Gero are creating androids once again. And it's actually really, really cool how he didn't technically trick. His name is Dr. Hedo.
Dr. Hedo.
He didn't trick him. Dr. Hedo knew that they were the bad guys, but they promised to fund his experiments.
Dr. Hedo being the grandson of Dr.
Gero.
So
of course.
Right. And he tricked them into working with him. But, later on we find out that, he's supposed to be a very brilliant guy.
Yeah. So he's supposed to be even smarter than Dr. Gero.
Right. So, he admits in the end, I kind of knew what I was doing. But, what every scientist does when they don't want to fund him, his research.
Yeah. Find the funding.
Finds the funding somewhere else.
Funding. Yeah. And because of that, we introduce the Gammas, which is Gamma 1 and Gamma 2.
Gamma 1.
And they're actually really, really cool characters. I think they're my favorite part of the movie.
Really? Why did you find them to be so good?
So I think Dr. Hedo has like a hero complex. He wants to be viewed as a superhero.
Right.
So he's messed with his own DNA, his skin, it's impenetrable, and he
has his attire.
He constantly keeps bringing up how he likes superheroes, basically. So he bases these characters apparently off of old Japanese superheroes, and they look really cool, like the character wise. They don't do like Kai Blast or anything, but they have guns that do that.
Right.
You know, so it's really it's creative, it's different, and you know, and they're still androids, and obviously they're still powerful. But the coolest part was whenever they would punch, you know, so Gamma 2 goes off and he fights Piccolo by himself, and whenever he would throw punches, like the pows and the booms, like he's all like, how can I see his sound effects? But the thing was, Dr. Hero like that so much that he added like the sound effects,
right?
You know, and I thought that was so freaking cool.
Yeah, I graphically wise, it was interesting to see.
And talking about graphics,
which I think is something we have to talk about. This
movie is in like it's 3D animated. It's literally looks like a video game.
It's gorgeous though. Like I don't know. I really like the graphics and all, but it just takes away like the Dragon Ball vibe for some reason.
Well,
I don't know.
I think it's like they're walking the fine line of trying like get new audience and give favor to the old audience, but. We've seen it before. They did it in the Broly movie. Remember whenever they're fighting?
They had some moments like that.
Yeah, whenever like they get So if you've seen the Broly movie, you know whenever they're fighting, they break through like different dimensions and stuff, and we actually get to see them in 3D animated. But on this one, is the entire movie from beginning to end is 3D animated, and if that's not your personal like preference of like cartoons, animes, or anything that you watch, it might bug you. Because it looks weird because I was thrown off guard. I didn't watch the trailers.
Oh, you
I
did?
remember because
I did watch the trailer.
Yeah, so I was because my friend Ricardo was like, "Oh, let's just go in blind. He's like, let's just see what's up." You know, we know it's Dragon Ball Z. We know we're gonna like it. We know we're gonna enjoy it. So let's just go into it blind. And I did. So I had no clue what I was getting into. I didn't know it was gonna be all 3D animated. You know, and I have friends who are like, "Yo, that's not my cup of tea," but it's Dragon Ball Z.
It's Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they deliver. As like we said, it wasn't an enjoyable movie, but it's just I don't know. Like for me, like when I looked at the graphics as a standalone, like not watching a Dragon Ball movie, just kind of like looking at the graphics, I thought it looked neat. I think like it shows how much effort they put into like whenever they show like the energy power. Like remember at the end when Max Cell comes up and then that big ball and everything, like all those little details, like it looks really amazing. But in the same realm, it also looked kind of weird. I don't know. It was like I loved it and I hated it at the same time.
Yeah.
I loved it for some reasons, but then I hated it because I felt like it was kind of not very Dragon Ball like.
Yeah. Well, now that you mentioned it, yes, the main villain for the movie is Cell Max, right? Or
Max Cell or Cell Max.
Max Cell.
One of those.
Yeah, one of those two. And it's literally a gigantic Cell in his second form.
But stupid Cell, because this one doesn't seem to think.
Yeah, he doesn't talk or anything. But that Cell was actually my favorite Cell. Like, I think that form was like really, really cool. Whenever like growing up,
right?
That I really enjoyed. Like, cause you're
talking about what was that? The second?
Yeah, it's the second one.
I really like the third one, like his last one.
Well, it's just like he becomes really pretentious.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about like his style, just like the way it looks, the appearance. Yeah. It looked more like a human bug.
No,
I don't know.
But he's not as cool or buff. You know.
He does.
He looks meaner on this form,
right?
You know, and like if you want a villain,
he looks buffer, taller, and everything.
Yeah, and whenever I was doing research for this, apparently, the creators, they talk about why they haven't brought back Cell before, because of the spots. Because they're all like, it's so hard to draw him and keep it constant that it's, they're all like, yo, screw that. We'd rather not bring him back. That's why Frieza keeps coming back. Because he's so easy to draw.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that's actually really, really cool.
Well, now that they're like 3D animating it, it would be easier, right? Because you just have to design them once and then just do the scenery and record it.
Yeah, that's why it made a lot more sense for this one. Yeah, and Piccolo finally got a new form. I think they said it's like 30 years. And Piccolo finally got a new form. Unfortunately, as far as naming goes, once again, I think it's really, really
Piccolo Super.
No, that would have been better. But
Super Piccolo,
it's Piccolo Orange.
Yeah, Orange Piccolo.
It's not really creative, but he looks more like he did when he was King Piccolo. Like he even becomes bigger.
Right.
And I think they say whenever the Namekians like they get older, like the colors on their arms, like on the orbs on their arms change color.
Mm-hmm.
So like
that's what it seems like.
Yeah, so you see like it's like a more mature, more powerful.
His face
you know?
looks more square too. Like he looks like
Yeah.
It does give him a
it's
meaner,
that jaw.
tougher look. Yeah, the jaw. You're right.
Yeah, and he was able to do this because they got the Dragon Balls, and we see what kind of a joke is become now. You know, with
Spheres.
because I don't know. I don't think. I don't. At least in my personal experience, I don't remember Bulma being so vain.
Oh yeah, no,
that she literally uses the Dragon Balls for cosmetic purposes.
That started on the previous movie with Broly.
Oh really?
Because she starts to get the Dragon Balls, and they made a joke with Frieza because they found out that Frieza was trying to get the Dragon Balls, and then they asked him, one of his minions.
Doesn't he want to get taller?
Yeah, but only by like 5 centimeters. And then they asked him, they said, why only 5 centimeters? He's like, because if I grow like by a lot, they're gonna think something's weird. But if I only grow a little bit, they will think that I'm still growing, and that might cause them fear. So then Bulma does the same joke. She goes, I just want to wish that I'm like younger by like 5 years. And they're like, why not just wish you're 20, in one wish? Yeah. It's like, no, because then my friends will know that I did something. And I want them to know that, I'm still young.
Yeah, I get that is true because she is getting older. So, I mean, I understand those fears. Like, but it's still, it just makes Shenron seem like a fucking joke.
At this point, it does. And at this point, I think maybe that's why, at least on the anime, the emphasis went to the Super Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
So maybe, but you're right. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, regardless, continuing. I really like it. With this, like, to be fair, I feel like this movie was just like they're teeing up Gohan to finally be able to help.
Right.
Because
it's a setup.
Oh yeah, with the power level difference between them, it's ridiculous. The entire movie, Goku and Vegeta are fighting from beginning to end.
Right.
And like spoiler alert, at the end Vegeta ends up winning, And and that was pretty cool because he finally gets his like all the hard work he's been putting in paid off. But going back to like the main storyline, it's literally it's a father-son movie.
Basically, now we have Piccolo.
Like, we everybody knows like the running jokes about how Goku's a deadbeat dad.
Right.
Yeah, because like when you look back at it, he's never been in their lives. He's never raised them, and unfortunately, it looks like Gohan's doing the exact same thing.
You're right.
Yeah, because
Piccolo is taking charge of Pan.
Yeah, he's taking care of her. He's training her. Like at the end, like she even learned how to fly. Mm-hmm. But the storyline of how much Piccolo cares and makes sure that Gohan trains, because obviously after they decided not to. So I'm pretty sure most of the people who watch Dragon Ball Z know that they were planning on getting rid of Goku and letting Gohan take over, but at the end, they just didn't do that, so they ended up pushing him to the back. So that's why after the Cell Saga, they built him up so much that he was going to be so like even in this movie they talk about how if he trained, he could be the strongest out of everybody. But since obviously they didn't take him serious,
right? That
never happened. So in this movie, it feels like they're like, well, like let's include him because at the end of the day, you can't have Goku forever,
You can. And well, I mean, from the last season, the Dragon Ball Super series or season, they go to the Tournament of Power and they need 10 fighters.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, it wasn't just Goku and Vegeta. You needed 8 more people. And so they have to take Gohan, even though he's like, I don't remember how to fight. They take Piccolo, they take Master Roshi, and they have to like cure his perversion with women and stuff. Yeah, there's a whole episode where he gets cured and he's no longer a pervert or anything like that. So they need more characters, it seems. And whenever the way they talk about it is like there's so many strong individuals out there now that Goku and Vegeta, they're kind of like a joke. That's why they're training with Whis. So they're like, we whatever new villains they're going to bring in, they're going to be that much powerful that if Gohan, Piccolo, and them were kind of a joke now, by then they're just going to be useless, kind of like Krillin has become now. Yeah. And so that's why they had to set this movie up, or at least this part of the story, to give Piccolo some boost and also to give Gohan some boost. To give
Piccolo some boost?
Some pickles, yeah, and turn him orange.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I like the way that Piccolo, he powered up. I think it made sense.
About how he had
I don't know.
For the
power? Well, it was like he's like dormant power, which makes you wonder why he never asked for that before. But, that was out there and he never got it. But to me, the way Gohan powered up was kind of cheap. I don't know.
Well,
I felt like it was too
a
easy.
lot of that part felt really, really cheap. Like
Very quick.
Like like obviously every movie is gonna have its downsides, and like I think a lot of the emotional moments that we got were like very, very bland. Like it's just like Piccolo's like, okay, Gohan, you're gonna charge up, and whenever you're ready, you attack him. You know, and,
Right.
and he's like, got it. And I'm like, that's it. That's all it's gonna take.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
Piccolo was getting hurt, and that's what got him to like want to do it. But he just felt like it was the fact that he hadn't done any training for such a long time. The fact that all those things, it just made him like now suddenly he's like Goku and Vegeta level, just like that. It just seems like
Very cheap.
very cheap
Very
to do
cheap.
it. So that to me, that's like the weakest part. Like it's really cool the transformation that he got, but how he got it just
Yeah, it's because there was no
know.
training. It was literally
No, there was none.
Like, well, I guess look, obviously, like if you've seen it, Piccolo was getting beat up real bad, and that was supposed to inspire this new form.
Mm-hmm.
So the Gohan got a new form. Is Gohan Beast?
something like or
Beast
Rage or something. No?
I
Beast?
read
They call it
Beast.
Beast. Okay.
Yeah, and he looks like, I think they said that it mirrors like the whenever Gohan transformed like to Super Saiyan 2.
It kind of did whenever he fought Cell.
Yeah,
he had the
so,
little.
and
the little
he's
thing.
fighting Cell again.
Yeah.
So it was really cool because like whenever you find out stuff like that of how
Like full circle.
yeah
Kinda like
it's
full
pretty
circle.
great. So other than that, it's like we got Gohan's got a new form. We got a new character Gamma. So and then Gamma 2 ends up dying.
Right. Which makes you wonder, couldn't they just make him again? Maybe.
Well,
Would he just personality be reset?
Yeah, I think the personality type will be different.
Yeah, that
you know,
sucks.
and
Rest
like
in peace, Gamma 2.
yeah, so we didn't even mention like the two Gammas. Like there's one of them is more composed and level headed.
Oh right.
Which is Gamma 1, and Gamma 2 was more outgoing, and he's the one who spoke the most.
Right. Yeah. He's the one that looks like he would appear on a TV show or something.
Yeah. So and Gamma 2 is the one that ends up dying.
Right.
But now we have Gamma 1, and hopefully he's as cool and collected.
Hopefully,
going
yeah.
forward.
It seems like they're gonna be doing stuff with Bulma, so we'll see what they come up.
Yeah. True.
So any other stuff about the story itself that you really liked or you didn't like?
The final blow was a special beam cannon.
Oh, right.
I fucking loved it. I thought it was like, yeah, that's fucking like, it's sweet, it's great. It's it's like a spit to Goku's face.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, you haven't been there, bro.
Yeah.
And
it's cool because then Piccolo is like, well, how do you learn
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
And
he's
it's like, that's-
yeah, it would have been better if he's like, I watched you do it. Like, that would have been a lot cuter,
Yeah. No, that's really, that was really
but
cool.
it's just like the way it went through. It felt like Piccolo was holding the bad guy down. It felt like whenever Goku was holding Raditz and Piccolo did his special beam cannon.
Right.
Like we say, like there's a lot of mirrors to a lot of like the past. And I thought that last attack was cool. It was like, it's literally I heard someone say is that like Goku's the dad, but Piccolo's the master.
Yeah.
Like his master.
Right.
So and it came around like we keep repeating, it's like it's full circle. It's like super respect to Piccolo for raising Goku's children.
For the stepdad.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
I thought him ending it with a special beam cannon was like so much better.
Yeah.
Than,
No, I
than
agree
if
with
it
that.
would have been a Kamehameha.
Right. No, I agree. And it changed everything.
Yeah.
It made me personally, I did not like that Piccolo forgot about Trunks and Goten.
That was one of my gripes. That was all like how he got big, and then he's all like, Krillin's all like, he's like just get big like you did back in the tournament or blah blah, and he's like, oh, I forgot I did that. I was like, dude, that's dumb as hell. I was like,
Right.
you could have literally just been all like, dude, like you got the power up, you can finally do it again, and then be all like, oh, I remember when he did that. Like play it like just like you swap the order
Too
around.
quick. It was too quick.
Yeah,
The way
it was very dumb because it's like, I forgot I did that. It was really really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember another thing was like I was like, why is Trunks' hair blue?
Oh, yeah. As soon as the movie ended, you're like, hey, why is his hair blue? And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know why because like when we talk about futures and like the butterfly effect, I assume that after they defeated the androids whenever he came back,
Right.
that maybe like the future changed, so maybe the color changed. But no, apparently it was whenever they were doing the storyline, his hair was always supposed to be blue because Bulma's was blue. but it just ended up being like a light purple for some reason, and like for no other reason than the fact that he wanted to change it back to blue.
Right.
That was it. You could. I feel.
You were all like excited. You're like, why is it blue? And I'm like, I think it's just graphics. And you're like, no. And then you look it up, and it's like, oh,
it was so disappointing.
Which after you point that out, I'm like, it would have been cool if they at least said that.
Yeah, I'll be like, dude, like, like make it canon. You can have my idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Yo, like honestly, call it the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Like the future changed. This is a different chunks, of course.
Yeah.
You know?
I would not mind that. I think that would be actually an intelligent way of doing it.
Yeah. Well, other than that, yo, I think the movie is good. I think the Broly movie is clearly better.
Oh, definitely.
But other than that, it's great. Like, it's an enjoyable watch. It's funny when it needs to be funny.
So before, let me end with my gripes. So, again, Trunks and Goten's not being there. Yeah. I think forgetting about them was kind of dumb. The fact that they messed up the transformation, the fusion, I think that's okay.
I kind of preferred that because
I think that was okay. I think that was okay because they hadn't done it in a while. There's a point where he's like, well, we cannot call the androids because obviously his grandfather made them, so they know their weaknesses. But then he's also saying like, we got to bring everything we got. So it's like you're not gonna call the androids because they know their weaknesses, so there's no point. But then you're also saying we have to bring everything we got. So like it just didn't make sense that he didn't want to call the androids.
Well, to begin with, they could have just wished them away, but Piccolo's pride is like, we can't do that.
You're right about that.
Yeah,
but,
so I mean,
you're right about that. But like that seemed more like a stupidity. Yeah. While at the same time, like I can believe it. While the other one's like. Where it seemed like a contradiction
put behind it.
Now the last thing was I like the Max Cell. I didn't like that he didn't talk.
Yeah, I didn't like how big he was either. I was like, he's just big for the sake of being big.
For the sake of being big. And the other thing I didn't like about him was one of the big things about Cell is that he was able to eat the androids and take their power or like any other life form, and he had the tail, but he didn't have the tail for that. His tail was just
it threw out beams.
Yeah, it threw out beams and stuff like that and fight with it.
So, but I don't mind that either because the whole him he had to absorb the other androids to become perfect.
Right, and this one was maxed already. Yeah. I know, but like it just seemed like so iconic of his like villain character that to me it would have been cool if he actually maybe took one of the Gammas. And then in the end, they cut the tail and they take it with them and save them or something.
They were going to kill Gamma too regardless. So, yeah.
Right. So, something like that. And then that is what gives him the next power-up, which makes, everything much more like, oh, my God, what are we going to do?
But then you can't call him Cell Max.
Dude, they would just have to say
Max Super Saiyan.
Max Super Cell. I mean, that'll just add more to word super everywhere.
No, but like Cell Max Maximum.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Just change his color, orange Max Cell.
Yeah, well, overall,
that's all my gripes.
The last review I did, I covered Nope. I didn't give him a number. All I did.
I just killed Goku.
Yeah, we can just go good, very good, bad, or just
I just say good, not very good, just good.
Just good.
Yeah.
Well,
obviously, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, so the way it feels like a setup, which makes me go, hey, they're gonna release more episodes later.
And knowing the way that they're doing animes right now, we're probably gonna have to rewatch like the first 3 episodes are probably gonna be the same thing.
They normally do that.
Yeah.
They make the movie part of the season, so
we'll see where it goes. I look forward to seeing more of the Gammas.
Okay.
Or Gamma. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Well, maybe they can revive him back.
Well, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Instead of wishing for being younger, revive the Gamma. All right. If y'all like this review, don't forget to leave a like. And also, what did you like about the movie? What didn't you like about the movie? Did you just like, no, I didn't want to watch it. I just wanted to see a review because I was not excited. Because leave a comment. Let us know. We have a podcast every week, so check it out if you want to be entertained.
Yeah, if you enjoy our commentary, like a lot of this happens on the podcast. And we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
and I think you would too. So check it out if you're bored.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it.
Thank you for joining us. Peace.
Out.
El cielo resplandece a mi alrededor.